There he is. There he is. Stuart.
Shuttle incoming. Just saying.
Of course it is a Discovery shuttle. The one, the only, the
only one there is.
The truest of shuttles. Yes.
Well, I love the first super chat. It gets the award for the best pre-show super chat.
Good.
Sergeant Montgomery, $5. Let's start off by jazzing up the names of these shuttlecraft.
Sorry, what was he referring to?
I think it's because I heard a rumor once that all the shuttles on the Titan were named after jazz musicians.
Oh, Terry Mateus loves jazz?
But I could be wrong. Maybe. I don't know.
Huh.
No, I don't know. Just saying.
Okay. So does that mean all of the Enterprise G music? So the Titan became Enterprise G. Is it jazz musicians or is?
Just gave me a funny thought. 709 is captain of the Enterprise G. What you gonna name her shuttles? 1 of 15, 2 of 15, 3 of 15.
Well, it is efficient.
Yep, it's accurate as well. Yeah.
Love it.
Unimatrix.
Shuttle
Why don't we name
Unimatrix.
Unimatrix? Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna start showing. See you in a second.
All right. That gives me a chance to tell you 20 people, lovely people, to hit the like button. We have 9 likes. Let's try to get those likes up to 20 if we can. Please consider super chatting in. Sergeant Montgomery, that was awesome. Funny one as well. I appreciate that. So super chat in your thoughts about this. Remember that you guys can bump things on the list once we put them on. If you don't agree with the decision, we have a community kind of option that way, that it's a community list. And then at the very end, me and Sam will tweak it if we need to, if we see fit. And that'll be our definitive list. But you get your community list first. We'll have our discussions and whatnot. And if you want to bump things, please do so. Please do so. But yeah, anyway, you can help us out in many ways. Hit that join button down below. Become part of the fleet, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That's another way to join. All those same ranks, privileges, and perks apply over there. So if you can, please do. We'd appreciate that. And yeah, other than that, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Check those out. Some cool Trekyards merch down there. Always a good thing to do. And we appreciate anyone who grabs our merch and is wearing it at a convention when we see them. We have seen many people have our stuff on out in the wild, and we appreciate that. So you could be one of them. Or not. That's fine too. Anyway. Oh, look, he's back.
Back again. Tell a friend.
Yes. Look who's back. Back again.
So Stuart, the shuttles. Star Trek. How, being brutally honest, Stuart, how impassioned do you feel about shuttles in Star Trek and their design versus other things we looked at?
They seem almost inconsequential until you actually start looking at all the shuttles, and it's like, holy, some nice designs there. Yeah, they I don't know. I don't feel really impassioned about them at all, honestly. But then when we're talking about specific ones, I'm like, this is really nice. But you don't necessarily think about it. So it'll be interesting to see what you people think out there. If shuttles are your thing, and I've heard a lot of people saying they're looking forward to this one. So
I have been, yeah.
I would assume that a lot of people do, in fact, like the shuttles.
Because for me, shuttles have ended up being a very useful medium in Trek shorts, because they allow you to take a character somewhere alone with an interesting design you rarely see and allow for movement and era swapping. You know, you can tell a whole story on a shuttle and it feels different. And also easy to build, 3D, easy to texture, and they're satisfying and show stuff that we rarely ever see, especially in new ways. In a recent film, I had a Star Trek V shuttle at warp, which you've never once seen anything ever. That was really cool to see. So shuttles have ended up being quite a fun thing for me. Plus, I've always liked the idea of how much compact design beauty you can fit into a small package, you know, and because they were then full-size props or like full-size miniatures, often very well detailed because they were so small.
Mm-hmm.
You know, specialist in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's been a lot of great designs over the years, and we're going to look at some of them.
Yeah.
Maybe all of them. We got like 32, I think, today, which, you know, it's quite a lot. We usually have like 19 things for these tier lists, so hopefully we don't talk too long on each one. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
And of course, as you guys know, you're really the bosses here. If you feel strongly about something, you can have it swap, as I'm sure Stuart's already said. Let us know your thoughts, comments, questions. If you feel strongly, make something rise straight to the top or bottom. We'll see where the Discovery Shuttle ends up, because we're going to be fair. I think that's always the thing, right? That's what we always try and be.
Yep.
And are you criterion these things based on looks, or design? Like, what do you think you're judging things for this one particularly on?
A lot of them are going to be looks and design, but some of them we've seen special features that they have or things that they've done, which will equate in. A lot of them have been brief glimpses. You know, we don't see it very often, or not as much as we would have liked to. So it's hard to know exactly what they're capable of. So yeah, mainly me it's going to be design aesthetics, and if it's a remaster or a reimagining of something that's come before, it'll be interesting to see how that's done as well. So yeah, lots to think about here. What about you?
It's kind of the entire package you're going to be judging on.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. I think certainly aesthetics. But it's like, do you think of could you even judge the TNG shuttle pod on aesthetics, right? Like that, it's a box. But, it's a broader spectrum. So I think I'm going to go with gut reaction mostly. Like I said, of course, I got some specialist memories of some of these ships for various reasons. But yeah, we will see. So shall we jump into the first one then, Stuart, which you can...
Well, before we do...
Okay.
Where is it here? John Walker said, I think the Delta Flyer had one of the best overall functionality. And that's not even on our list.
Is it a shuttle? Is it a secondary craft?
Like... Well, you've got Calypso on there, so...
Exactly.
I would put the Delta Flyer and a Runabout in here, personally, but hey.
Yes.
Anyhow, let's get to the first
As we said before, otherwise, it's like, you never include Odo in tactical, so you got in security. Or you got in tactical, so you didn't include security. Right, take it to the first one, Stuart.
Boom, baby.
Okay.
Type 11, I believe.
With beautifully chitty digi-doubles in the front. And a very inaccurate interior. It's great. Your thoughts, Stuart?
This, I think, is one of my absolute favorite shuttles in all Star Trek. I love the way that this is sleeked out, based on everything that's come before. It's kind of like a refined version, and it's also quite large. Looks quite utilitarian. We only saw like the front cabin, but I'm sure it's very much like the Delta Flyer in the back area. There's more going on back there that we never saw. So, and plus it's super maneuverable, as we saw in the movie. And with that airlock on the top, again, there's some fantastic little features that this thing has that make it a standout, in my opinion. And you got that huge phaser ring or strip on the front as well, which is a nice touch. You rarely see weapons placements on shuttles, so it's an interesting idea. Plus, I like the refinement of those nacelles and the struts. I kind of like the way the struts are shaped and how slimmed down those nacelles look, but still, yeah. So there you go. That's my take.
Yeah, it's a funny old one. It's very much the iteration, the continuation, the development. How do we improve on a formula, etc.
Yeah, the screen's black there.
Things are breaking. Hold on.
Does the Type 11 seem to be an overpowered shuttle? I wouldn't say so, no. I think it's a combination of all the shuttles that came before and actually super useful, but I wouldn't say overpowered, no.
Well, it's relative because you kind of want a strong shuttle. Yeah, so the Type 11 is the logical extension of every other shuttle before it. It is substantially larger. You don't really get a sense of that in the abstract, but I mean, if the scale of those people are correct, normally like a Type 9 is a tiny cabin, people crammed together. There's a full level of space. The reason being, of course, it's a runabout cockpit they modified, so it is a larger crafts thing. It's huge. I mean, it absolutely puts every other shuttle to shame. Whenever I do shots of it, it's like, oh, it's that big. Like, if you ever design a shuttle bay with this in mind, it's like, oh. big shuttle bay just to fit, 'cause it's got a turn and everything. But it's a really nice design. You know, one of John Eves, I think, he hit the nail on the head. It feels Starfleet, it feels evolutionary, everything's both new. It's very simple in that, unlike a Rick Sternbach design where there's greeblies and there's sort of little detailed notes, he's just got panels. So if you look at it, it's just you know, there's a light at the top, some panels, some weapons, and some intakes. It's a really simple design, actually almost too simple. But you put it together, and it's a very nice looking package. And yeah, the phase strip at the front implies something, and it's very nice in motion. I've done a lot with it in motion. It's very sweeping. Obviously, the top docking thing doesn't mean anything. It's there because of the plot. It's not used for 99% of the things. But hey ho, I think for pure overall win, I would give this one an S, just because it is one of the top shuttles. For various reasons.
I would agree.
I've done a lot of work with it as well. I'll be brutally honest. I know it quite well.
And John Walker, $5. Which one did we see in TNG, but it was sleeker, sealant, and kind of looked like a fighter? Well, it's probably on this list, so I'm not sure which one you're referring to specifically. But let's place this first one here. Boom.
It's just, yes, it's a really nice overall design, and that's kind of what we're going for here.
100%, yeah.
Well, I certainly would love to have seen a Rick Sternbach retweak by adding some of those things. It's because there's things it is missing, but it's the Rick visuals. It's the John visuals, so it's fine. It's all good.
So you want to get Rick rolled?
Sure. Rick's a legend.
All right, what's next? This one's yours. So.
Ah, yeah. The little seen Titan shuttle. This, of course, is a lower deck shuttle from the Cerritos. Now slightly purplier and Titan nacelles, shrunk down a la Bird of Prey, with no logic applied to them, just shrunk. I don't like the purple, first of all. I think that's a shame. And the interior, I think the colours are whack. But I do think the nacelles work really well with it, ignoring the scale. I think their sleekness is very good. And also the top detail is a different shape. It's a fine shuttle. It's I think it's probably a weaker than the sum of its parts design. But that's because of what we have in contrast is so good in other eras of Trek. Still good, but it hasn't quite come together. I would say. Thoughts?
Yeah. I like this one. It is a refinement from TNG styles, and I think a very nice looking shuttle as well. The nacelles, very Luna class-esque, as they should be. And I love that they got a sensor palette or something on the roof that looks like the Nebula class sensor palette as well, same shape. It's cool. I don't mind the color at all, actually. And, you know, I don't remember the colors of the interior offhand, but
just more garish.
Yeah. But no, I like it. It's a nice refinement. It's definitely a good improvement from the TNG designs.
Oh, really? You think it's better?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I think
it's
it loses...
it's a step forward. It's showing advancement.
Well, it's the 6A. And there's more space. I think it's meant to be a cargo variant. It's kind of out. So I wouldn't necessarily say it looks better. Certainly not as advanced as the Voyager version. So it's odd. It's like it's built with newer things in mind, but it's not more advanced than Type 7 or 8 or 9. I don't know. You know? And then it's a Titan version. So why are the Titan using regen 6As when they should have 9s? As in Voyager shuttles.
Because they have a bunch of different classes of shuttles on board all the time. So
sure. See, I would gut this to a B because it's high B, but it's just too simple, and it doesn't quite come together for anything higher. And B is still high. I'd say B. Hi, Matthew.
I was thinking a low A, but I'll go B plus. Sure.
Yeah, B plus. Yeah.
Make it simple.
I've used it twice in fan films. It's just hard to justify using it again, as in 'cause it's such a specific variant. Although it was great, we made the original one. Then to make this is very simple. You just swap. Hey, new shuttle. That's great. Very satisfying.
All right, next up.
I'll also do a poll as well.
So the Strange New World shuttle. Now this is, of course, they didn't have a lot of leeway because they had to make it look. Well, they didn't have to. I'm glad they did make it look like the TOS one, and I think they did a fantastic job with it. Again, this is a refinement on the original TOS design. I know it's a pre-TOS design, but I like it better. Just aesthetically wise, it makes more sense. I like the way the nacelles are mounted as opposed to the ones in TOS, and the interior is phenomenally better.
Phenomenally bigger, you mean?
Bigger and better. I like the way it's laid out. I like the way the controls look. It's very utilitarian, very functional, and yeah, like you said, a lot of room. So I really like this one. It's a fantastic idea for a reimagining of TOS. So
yeah, this is it's like how it's the concept version because there's just a very clean shot. Yeah, it's great. It's a much better and logical reinvent the wheel while keep it look like the wheel. Because you know what it is, you know what it's trying to be, but also it looks entirely different. That's what Stranger Worlds does very well. So good for them. I think even though I like the simple gimmick of the angle, it pulls it too far away from the original, which is why I prefer if it's meant to be, you know, let's say TOS shuttles are Type 2, if it was a Type 1, right? Like it's not the same. It's a precursor, and then it becomes the simpler box, of course, but it's more streamlined in some ways. This one's slightly more style, but it's a cool variant. It ticks many boxes. It looks great in motion. It's a very solid design, if clearly a visual reboot.
Yes.
A trying visual reboot. I would also give this one a B, because it's I think the inside's too big, because it's a very big shuttle. It's kind of runabout sized, let's be brutally honest, which pulls it into a, why would TOS have a runabout sized ship anyway? Like, it really is kind of that. So I think my slight canon hat's like but a high B, I would say. Your thoughts?
I'm going to disagree and say an A on that one. So it's kind of up to you guys. Where do you want to see it? A or B? Let us know. Matthew Lebner, though, member for 11 months at the rank of Admiral. Thank you very much, Admiral. Happy Thursday, everyone. Glad I could be a part of this live stream. It's been a while. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, sir.
But jump in wherever you can. Yes, guys, this is now first super chat, well, the highest super chat, picks where it goes. But it is great. It's just, as with everything Stranger Worlds, I wish it was 20% closer or 30% closer, and it'd be perfect, right? Which makes me obviously hope if we get season 3 or 4 or 5, sorry, they'll do an update. They won't. Discovery didn't. But if they did, it would be, you know, just a little bit more. But it's
so, first super chat can clinch it, either A or a B plus. I say A for me personally, because I really love this design, both inside and out, and
I do too. I just see a few too many form of a functionness to it versus function form, and it's meant to be a structural thing, right? So just gut reaction. And what I like is that the production team, or someone on the team, accidentally on purpose shared lowish resolution orthos of it, proper orthos, so fans could make a replica. Which is lovely, because even if they're low poly or low resolution, the fact that you've got perfect dimensions, even if not crisp, is the golden ticket you need to remake something. And then somebody did. But yeah, at some point, would be nice to build it. But, you know, too many things to build.
We got 5 Bs and 2 As, so I'm going to put it in B now.
It's on that precipice. Like I say, if it was even 10% different, it'd get an A. But I gotta be, cause there's so many things here. Yeah.
Okay. What is next? Just pulling from the back, so I don't even know.
This is the lower decks version, which is, as you can see, white and different nacelles. And you know what, Stuart? I said my damn piece last time. Your thoughts?
Same as last time. I almost prefer these nacelles to the Luna class ones, though. But yeah. So we'll put it in the same spot. We'll put it at B, I guess.
It's funny. I think the nacelles work better shape-wise to Titan because the sleekness works well, but the character of these nacelles work better for the shuttle, what it is actually in the universe. So I much prefer the silver to the blue. So they each cancel each other out, and they're both a B. I would agree. I think maybe a smidge lower B than the other B, but I would just change the color to silver, and then I'd be fine. So as artist me, I would just change it after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up is yes, a classic. This is Emergency Landing Plan B shuttle. This I love. I love this era of design. And again, it's taking the TOS shuttle and advancing it and seeing the tie-ins to the TOS shuttle. You got that side door. You got a loading ramp at the back, which is cool. I'm not a huge fan of the nacelle type or the way they connect necessarily. And those side...
Hey, Chuck.
Those side like almost like wings on the side are an odd choice, but they look really good.
And they're TOS-ish. They obviously going from that stylistically.
But for aerodynamic, like in an atmosphere, they kind of make a little bit of sense, right? So, but yeah, I like this one a lot. This is the granddaddy of a lot of these. So, big front window, no side windows, which bums me out all the time. Really reduces your visibility as a pilot to be able to maneuver this thing, but so it has its flaws. And the other thing I really like about this one is the fact that they include the reaction control thrusters, so you can actually see them, which usually you can't see on shuttles either. Like a lot of shuttles are missing some of just the finer details that would make them pop a bit more. So this one I think is more thought out. So
this is a guilty pleasure shuttle for me. Something about it just works for me as an overall piece, because it to go from TOS, which was the shuttle, and I guess Workbee's Vulcan shuttle. This is the true first. Well, I guess it's shuttle pod. No, it's okay. I guess you had shuttle pod, and then the TNG shuttle, which of course was the curved one, which they are similar but not that similar. And then obviously this, as you say, this then took off as the one started. 4, maybe it was in 4 as well, 5, and then was cut down to be TNG. So this is what spawned TNG, and then obviously every other shuttle after that. Yes, the big flaw is of course the windows. You said one of the first things I ever did in CG was I was asked by some guy to do like a Star Trek 5 restoration project, and they gave me a Star Trek 5 shuttle, and I did a shot from the cockpit looking out at and it was cool, but you realize how crappy that feels visually to work from, and just the interior is very odd from the movie. Terrible visibility. You can see like foam inserts. It's like a half-built set. It's weird. It's very impractical. Now, luckily, I did one for a fan film where I based off the Resurgence one, which was modified so it was more familiar on the inside. But I like it. It's got a good vibe. It looks great in motion. I love the engines at the back. I like the nacelles because they are different yet the same. It's a cool ship, and I like how much bigger it is, so it feels like a proper cargo shuttle or workhorse shuttle. I like it. It's a nice piece. It's if TNG is too stout, this one kind of fixes that. And you can cram a lot of people into this. The entire strike force take of Enterprise. Apparently. But Stuart, do you want to also read out the poll? Because I started a poll. Which is been a one for Trekyards for a long time, this question, so vote.
Is the Runabout a shuttle? Really? Like, is it though? Yes, it's really a shuttle. And nope, small starship. Bit of both.
Because we got complained about that really, really early. So I like this one. This is and I've always liked it from the film, and then for its 5 seconds in Star Trek Generations, the glow nacelles. I've always liked it, and I wish we saw it more. So I could use it. I jumped at the chance. I would give this a low A. Guilty pleasure, but I would. It just comes together for me in a satisfying way.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. It's a favorite one of mine, and it's one that when I think shuttle, it's one of the first ones that pops to mind. So,
like, I'd love to see. Well, there we go. I'm surprised. I'd love to see it more in Wrath of Khan era pieces. You know, it's such a fun thing. I just like it. It's not perfect, but I like it. Like, it feels very utilitarian, but also kind of sleek and snazzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. I thought you were gonna fight me on that. Cool. Yay. This one. This, I'll admit, I never knew existed until Egomos told us it existed. This is a TNG cargo shuttle, which was sketched in a technical manual Rick did, and then Egomos turned it into a shuttle. And then they made a CG model, and you can buy it. It's part of a shuttle pack. And you know what? It's cool. I like it. It looks a bit dumb, because it's clearly hybridizing everything they ever made. But I kind of like it. It's kind of cool, and it's so novel.
Yeah. Well, before I talk about it, Utopia Planitia Shipyard throws in $5 and said, "Love the Star Trek V shuttle. It's my favorite S tier." Okay, we'll bump her up.
And that is what these super chats do, guys. You can move up one tier by a 5 for the us, and then fan rating. Huh.
Just to clarify, we do this as a community together, and that's the community choices, and then at the end we modify it to be me and Sam's definitive kind of list. So
but we do save that one, so that is for posterity saved.
Yeah. All right, so this one is really cool, and again, I'm like you, I didn't know it existed, but it's nice to know it exists in the world, and it's fantastic for a cargo shuttle. I really like the design elements of it. Everything about it just kind of looks nice and sleek and beautiful,
while still being chunky.
Yeah, but not.
But not though. Yeah. Both, right? It is chunky, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a good one in my opinion. I like the wraparound windshield idea. Again, lots of visibility for a pilot, which is awesome.
I love that pinstriping.
Yeah.
The nacelles are clearly just stretched shuttle pod ones. And actually, that's okay. And I like the fact there's clearly a giant like sliding door or open door. You know, this feels like you cram a lot of stuff in. I like it. I would still go a low B because I think it's not quite there, but I like it a lot.
Looks wise, I'd go an A, but
we can put up to the fans.
Guys, let us know. First super chat gets it, or if you guys depend on votes, because we have a lot of shuttles to get through, so I don't want to spend too much time on each. But
and yes, they have micro
phaser strips on the nacelles.
Hey, just where they were on the Type 9.
Are they actually phaser strips though?
Oh, yeah, I mean Type 6 fires them too. They just often ignore the fact there should be weapons there and don't put them. But you can. They're tiny though. But you know, it's fine. I think they are. Yeah, they are there on the Voyager version, as in specifically the episode where Chakotay fights Nog. They make sure the model has them there, so they do exist.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Shit.
Yeah. So yeah, super chat. Where you want to place? Now you can place it lower. It's totally up to you. I like it.
Well, we got 2 B's and 2 C's. So it looks like B's winning out because I said I'd like to slot it in A because I like the way it looks.
Yeah, Rich. It's like public transport. It does. It really does. It really.
Yeah, this would be a good school bus, Picard, or a taxi.
Or limo. Yeah,
limo.
You shrink it for a taxi. Yeah, it really does actually. And actually, I wouldn't even. It's such a good general shape. If you stripped off one nacelle, put a nacelle on the top, you'd have it as like a civilian transport across San Francisco.
Yeah,
I could see it being.
We got 3 B's and 3 C's.
Well, everyone that's not super chatting, their voice is being heard, but
A.
We'll give you another minute, guys.
Well, since you said B, I'm gonna wait. But yeah, they. If anyone wants to super chat in and put it in a slot for sure, you can. But otherwise, looks like it's going to be sliding into the B position.
What are the rules? I missed the start. We vote. We argue our case. We decide a rating. If you disagree, you can change the rating. If we need a tiebreaker, you decide the tie. Because we are a community channel.
And it's a definitive community list at the end, and then we change it to what we think it should be. So.
Definitively, yes.
All right. We got 2 A's now. B is still winning. I'm going to put it in B for now. We can modify it later should we need to.
As we always say, contrast is king on these. So as soon as we start ranking things, we'll see what does and doesn't work. Wait, you put the Star Trek 5 shot on S. It was A.
A super chat moved it up, dumbass.
Did it?
Yes.
75 one? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah, I thought it was the type of them. Sorry. Yep.
Somebody's not paying attention. That's okay.
I'm smart.
All right.
I make these lives go. That's what I do.
The unused cargo sled. Well, I guess it wasn't unused. I think we might have been in the background shots of some of them.
Yeah,
But this is designed by Andrew Probert. This feels to me very much like either a pickup truck, well, like a pickup truck and a little two-man sub had a baby. It's got so many real-world influences in it. But it's very unique, and it's one that stands out from the technical manual for me. But, it's designed for a specific purpose, and that's cool. It just doesn't look like anything else on the list. Let's be fair. So, yeah, it's neat. It's a neat design. I'm glad it wasn't included on the ships per se. I like that it's a starbase or like a shipyard kind of idea. But anyway.
Yeah, it's another surreal Andy Probert design. It is the Sphinx. It was done by Deg for the calendars, and then it was put in Eagle Moss. So it has been going live. You can get one. They are available. Yeah, it's a enhanced Workbee, right? That's the idea. The Workbee is simple, basic. This is significantly more advanced, more capable, and I think it was intended to be the TNG version because of course Workbee is TMP.
Yeah,
I like the Workbees not changing. There's something sweet about them always being like we hit them on the head 100 years ago, still got them today. I mean that's what many things are, right? Like some things don't change. But I see the benefit of what this can do, the cargo space at the back, the enhanced arms. I mean, yeah, of course, if you didn't know it was a Star Trek design, it'd be a deep sea diver ship, right? But also the Workbee itself, there's nothing Trek about it specifically. It's a different class, right? So I'm not going to hold, for this one unique thing, not going to hold against it. So aesthetically, I would say it was a C for me. No shade, but a pleasant C.
Yeah, I like its uniqueness. I was thinking C for cargo as well. I don't know who said that in the chat. Ozzy. So, yeah, C's perfect for me.
It doesn't quite hit my doesn't hit my gears into the on department, but yeah, I like it plenty.
Whose go is it first?
Me next. Oh yes, the original TOS shuttle, designed by Matt Jeffries, before they realised it's too big, too fancy, too hard to make, too expensive, abandoned, but sketched, and then done by fans and Eagle Moss in the future. It's cool. It actually now doesn't feel TOS to me, because it's too sexy, it's too advanced, it's too fancy, too aeroplaney. It now doesn't reflect, because if you modify the nacelles even a little bit and took out the pennants, you'd be like, oh, that's a cool spacecraft.
Yeah.
But it is cool. It's kind of like a TOS luxury yacht, is how I'm vibing it.
Yeah. I really like this design, always have, but Matt Jeffries was a pilot. This is definitely designed to be in atmosphere, and I think he took that into account and made it very aircraft-like. Wouldn't take much to turn this into an actual plane, to be honest. But I love the fanciness of it. I do agree that all these years of looking at like shuttles, this doesn't fit in anymore. But it does have elements like in the back that kind of are reminiscent of the back of the phaser as well. There's elements that tie it together and makes it very future and fanciful, which it would have been great to just have this from the get-go. But yeah, the compound curves and stuff were too hard to make on the timeline they had. So unfortunately we didn't get it. But I do love that people have made them in 3D, and also we got one from Eagle Moss. So, but this is a fancy one for me. I like it. And I think it should probably deserve an A slot, even though it was never used. It's a freaking cool design.
Things, what am I judging on? What do you want me to judge on?
Whatever you want to judge it on.
I would say a mid B personally, because A is saying it's one of your top shuttles in all Trek, and I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it looks very nice for what it is. Yeah.
It's a lost opportunity, and for me, I think it's an A for that reason. But
there you go, guys. back in. The ball is back in your guys' court.
I'm saying A. He's saying B. Let us know.
A mid B, if that helps at all.
Yeah. First super chat will clinch it, guys.
And we do want you guys' thoughts, comments, and questions, as in via the super chats, because it does help with the channel, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know your thoughts.
Now, interesting enough, it says we got one new member, but it hasn't shown me who that is.
Oh.
Well, thank you to whoever it was. Usually they give us an announcement about that, but...
Maybe it was before the live?
No, it still would have showed up.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Where is this in your rankings and ratings? Did you know it existed? Because I can imagine this might be like a word. Like, Jeffrey's thought of this.
Yeah.
But it's nice when he was so confident in the show that he could design a real design first.
Yeah.
And then reality had to sink in. And then we got a giant box.
Well, Matthew Lebner puts in $5 and says an A, so we will do that.
You guys have to say.
Anybody else can disagree and get it moved down at some point. So,
just like He-Man, you have the power.
He-Man. All right, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. And like I said, super chat and be part of the community conversation here. Help us out with the decisions and such. We would appreciate that immensely. But
yeah. All right. So next one is you. Where are you going to go in this grand pantheon of Star Trek?
I don't know. I'm grabbing from the back, so.
Oh, I do like the randomness.
Can't even. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
The Unused Aeroshuttle from Voyager.
And yet, in every single episode.
Yes, it's on the bottom of the ship, the clear outline. It's a blank they put in there because they didn't get a chance to install it. This was a real missed opportunity, in my opinion. It's got the front shape and design similar to the Runabout because they were going to use Runabout sets, which makes a lot of sense. And this would have been fantastic to see launch off the Voyager and do things. And they had test footage, CGI test footage of it, and it looked friggin' great. Very very fighter-like almost, or modern airplane.
Or glider.
Yeah. So it definitely, atmospheric flight is definitely like its forte. But I love the integration of the nacelles, and just reusing the front of the Runabout's a great idea because design-wise, the Federation would do that, so it made sense. Just a shame it never came to fruition until much later, like the Jeffries design. But that's actually the reason that the Delta Flyer was invented, because they didn't have this. So,
which is substantially sexier than this.
In a different way, yeah. I kind of like this one. The bottom's a little bit blah, because it's just plain. But I would have liked to see this in action, so those are my thoughts.
Yeah, see, this one's a funny one. Obviously, we're lucky to have the original model to look at, which was built for the test. So it is definitely lower fi than it should be. While it is cool, it doesn't feel what it should feel like, right? It's a concept ship. But the nacelles are gorgeous, absolutely tremendous. The front is dull, and the little spill deflector looks silly with a clearly like stretched paint, right? Again, the half-assedness of it comes across. You know, they did this as a favor to the company to try and see if it worked. So it was done quickly, great for what it is, but conceptually the shape is cool. You could certainly retcon this if you're doing it fully to say the wings could articulate. You could do a lot with this if you said, you know, blank slate a bit more with it, because this of course is itself a blank slate of like, let's up design from the whatever. But it's a cool design. It looks cool in motion. You could do it with it in theory. You could add more internal volume by connecting the nacelles even further, give even more room. I know that Rob Bontrune, we've talked to him about this, and he said he'd make the wings a lot thinner and more aerodynamic because they're just everything's just too squared off, and which does feel weird, but also kind of gives it its flair. It's a nice design. It's it's very different, which is nice, right? Because what is it? It's a secondary craft, not a shuttle, in a long-range explorer. So it's going to have a very unique mission profile in itself. It's going to have a lot of abilities. Because it's not a captain's yacht. It's an aeroshuttle, so it's not even a jaunt ship. It's a it's what the Delta Flyer should have been. It's we need to go off and do a separate mission. Voyager's too busy. We'll take
Built
this.
an auxiliary ship, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really specialist and really unique. It is a runabout, ostensibly, just a runabout integrated in. I like it. I don't love it, because I see the limitations, but I do like it a lot.
Yeah. And SFX F31 Sabertooth Raptor, I never said they couldn't not be together in the show. The reason they did the Delta Flyer is because they didn't have this. Which, if they had this from the beginning, I don't know if the Delta Flyer would have came about. They could have done it, absolutely. But I'm just, production-wise, that's why the Delta Flyer became a thing. Because they wanted an auxiliary ship that could do more than shuttles. So, anyway.
They also just forgot it existed. I mean, if there's not an internal memo saying that plate at the front of the ship is a shuttle, you never think of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it was never mentioned ever, so it was either there or it wasn't there. It's a Pavlov's shuttle.
I would have loved an episode where they went down and it was just all unfinished inside, and they finished it up and actually did a first launch in the Delta Quadrant. That would have been kind of cool.
Would have been very similar to Delta Flyer, of course. Then thematically the same sort of ship episode, but you know what? That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fine with that. Where do you want to put it? What do you think?
I want to put it as an A.
I would say a low A, teetering on a B, but I see past into what it could be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be ashamed if anyone put it down to a B. Yeah.
But that means he wants it to be a B, but he doesn't want to argue with me right now. So
well, I'm on that. That teetering.
Yeah.
It's just it's nice, but it's unfinished.
All right, what is next?
And guys, yeah, super chat your thoughts. Hasn't been one for a while. This helps the channel go and do more cool things. Ah, yes, the Picard shuttle. I guess it's me again. Yes, the Picard shuttle. This is I think Type 14. I believe they say it's basically a Type 11 but new. And you know what? Absolutely fine with that. That is a very valid thing to do. It is a bit sleeker, a bit more curved. It stole the engines off the Titan, which, as we now know, in other Titan... Oh, wow. Both Titans have stolen nacelles off their hero ships. Huh. It's a trend.
Yeah.
Titans share. It is almost too familiar, but it has its own flair. It's nice in motion. Wouldn't say it's very creative, but it's very safe. And with other things we're getting in the era, happy to have it. I think it's smaller than Type 11. So if
it is.
If it's to build the cockpit, which was just a little tiny room, Runabout was a much larger set. So I think it's probably a little bit smaller. I know there's a slight, because there's a airlock at the back, which was there because they had to dock with the Helios. I know that they had a little, tet for tet about how everyone scaled it wrong. But we've used it based on this measurement. And they're like, yeah, but the measurement's this. It's like, well, we didn't do that. So it doesn't actually line up with the ship, with the show scale, which is kind of funny. I like it, but as much as it hasn't necessarily got its own personality, it's got a Picard version of Type 11 personality.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem, but it's good. Thoughts, Stuart? Thoughts?
I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. I do, as much as I love the Type 11, there's just way too many changes to this one. And I don't like the nacelles. I think they look kind of clunky and cobbled together. And I just...
Well, they look better on a starship, not a shuttle.
Oh, 100%, yes. Yes. You don't need to mirror your starships nacelles on your shuttles, in my opinion.
You can reference them, but mirroring them...
Like the front part and the side there would have been fine. Don't leave off that back bit. It just looks odd and kind of dumb. So this one, I honestly want to put it a D.
Oh Jesus, that's an active dislike. I mean, as a shuttle,
getting there.
Because as a shuttle, it's a better shuttle than the Sphinx.
Oh yes, 100%. But the Sphinx is the cargo thing. It's not necessarily a shuttle. So.
I would say a high C edging on B. I think it it's arguably a nicer design than the lower decks one, but they have their identity far more than this one. They did something newer while still copying Type 6. This does something less new while copying Type 11. So I think, so hence I'll give us a medium C, would be my ranking. You guys might disagree. Because I think it could look amazing. I think if we saw more of it in motion, doing some things in a fan film perhaps, I think people could like even more. We didn't get much time with it, right? We didn't get a lot to really embrace it and see. That's my official vote. What do you guys think? D or C?
I'm fine for moving it to C, honestly.
Oh, sorry, high C, but it's there's just so many things that are better. That's the thing. It's not one of those things where it's bad. It's just the things that are better.
And none of them are bad per se, unless we call them out as being bad. I don't know.
I do think probably if it had original nacelles that fit with the aesthetic. I like the nacelles, as you know, but I think if they were a bit more original and in keeping, because shapes complement each other, right? That's a shape of a nacelle that's not for that, and then a shuttle. They're slapped together. There's no, because there can't be a logical flow, because there's not a flow.
It was a battle between D and C, but we're going to put it at low C for now. And move onward and upward.
Alrighty then.
Is this me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. This is a John Hughes design. Is this for Picard Season 2?
Planitia.
Season 1. Planitia, yeah, okay. Yeah, these I like. I like John's idea for shuttles. Again, very sleek looking, very fancy, and very kind of aggressive as well. But he likes to incorporate aircraft details, as you can see with the little fins on and stuff there. Which again, shuttles are made for going down to an atmosphere. It kind of makes sense to include that kind of stuff. So I like the front window. It's also got the same. It's got the side window, same shape as the ones we see in the Enterprise D shuttles. So it's nice. It also looks huge. Looks very big inside. I like it, and I like the paint scheme as well. So,
of course,
didn't see much of them, but
of course, this is the sketch version. The one on the show is a little bit different. La la la. Yeah, I mean, this is for me a better Argo, because it is, of course, Argo, but different. He does like to recycle his own concepts. I think this looks nicer. I like a lot the wings and how they integrate with the top, with the little engine detail. It feels very JJ too, because of course he pulls his own knowledge into JJ. He obviously he's the same designer, right? So but it feels like a sleek. We love the Delta Flyer wing variant. Let's pull that into something. I don't see any warp systems or any warp engines. I don't remember them from the episode. If it's just an actual shuttle,
I think it is.
Then that's cool, and especially if it's being utilized for cargo movement of things that you can't transport because they'll explode, then you want as much space as possible. So ignoring warp drive and having that instead, cool, sweet. I like it. It'll be higher than Argo for me because I just think it looks nicer. I think the paint is really good. I wish there was pennants on the top. I think you to pull through the red throughout the design would be better. And you could have the blue wing, which is a medical version. It really much sings to that for me. I would give this one a very low A.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking A. I was just thinking mid A, but when you say very low, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not going to argue that.
Because it looks nicer than the Jeffries design, but that's because it's also been finished, fully featured and whatever. But it's in a similar vein of just sleeker what we've seen, etc.
Yeah. Okay. Ugh, good God.
Ouch, that was a glowing endorsement to start off with, Stuart. Wow.
Well, here you go.
NX-1 shuttle pod, something new. Truly new. Again, John Eves designed so many things that are... it's a little pod with a little bobble at the top. Simple. Wings. about 5,000 buttons on the inside. You can dock sideways because of gravity plating, and you can go through it. I do quite like the hatch door, and everyone else can stumble out. It's quite fun when that happens. Could very much well be NASA, you know. I don't like how far back the wing is. It's always felt awkward to me. I know when I did a version of Romulan War, I moved the wing forward quite a lot and bigger, so it bounced out better. I get you kind of, you know, front heavy things can kind of work, but for me it's front heavy. And this angle.
Well, it also retracts too, so you can't put it further up without cutting off like a section of the cab. So
yeah, you just put it under the cab.
If you put it on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, like there's ways around that, right? There's not, you know, and we did that fine. You know, it very much is what it is in the era. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's exactly fits in with the era. It's exactly thematically right. But it's not really Starfleet. It's NASA plus one. You know?
That's why I don't like it. I've never liked the looks of these. They're very practical. They're very real world. It's like this is, if we had shuttlecraft like that, that's what they would look like. So hit the nail on the head for that. I just never liked the way they looked. They look almost too 1950s B movie-ish with the front window the way it is and stuff. It never really spoke to me, and I'm just not a huge fan of it. But as far as designing for that era, it did a pretty good job. And even the interior is very utilitarian and makes sense in the scheme of things. So I take that into account. So even though I don't like the way it looks, I'm very happy to put it at a C.
Well, let's see what else is at C. Because that's the thing. It is trying to be something different. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's... So I like it better than the Sphinx. I like it less than the Picard shuttle.
Okay, well, you decide.
So I guess I would say C as a mid between those 2 points. Because it's doing its thing, right? Like a Workbee is just a triangle seat, right? It's doing its thing. And guys, yeah, put your super chat saying, guys, it's been an hour now. Support the channel. Let us know.
Okay.
Is that one of our broadest spread so far?
Yeah.
I feel like it is, yeah. All right. Okay, what are you giving yourself now? What are you...
Oh.
Perfect. The X-33 Stu, in case you forgot what it was called.
Yeah, as far as shuttles go, boom, baby. It's cool. But again, very real world NASA. It's fine. It's perfect advancement on what the space shuttle, you know, that program, it was heading to the future, and spot on design wise. And I like it for the era as well, because it's like pre everything, which is awesome. So I absolutely adore this thing. So we need the space shuttle program to continue.
Because it's a shuttle in almost
Literally.
the most truest sense of the word.
Yep.
Obviously a hard one to judge, right? Because I do like it a
is.
lot. And this one is special to me in a sense because when I was young, we went to Cape Canaveral, and in the gift shop I got the real one of this, the actual what this was then based on. So I had that. And it might still be in that drawer, I don't know, but so this is almost identical to that. This I prefer because it's sleeker and sexier, and it's meant to be one step further. So I've got that in my heart, and it would look cool in motion. But you know, it's a space shuttle. It has not
As far as NASA real world tech, this would be an A.
Oh yeah.
But on this list,
In this list, does it have does it have warp?
no.
Does it have phasers?
Nope.
Hull plating?
No, but it's got heat shields. It's fine. It's a D for me.
Yeah, it's got to be a D. There's too many other factors against it.
As much as I like the design, as far as Star Trek shuttles go,
Well, also, there's no Star Trekian design elements that have made its way in. They could have put some cheeky ass thrusters in that felt reminiscent. I mean, they could have, right? Or pennants, with some nice red pennant. I don't know. Yeah.
They could have indeed. But yeah, it's just one of those things, right? So.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Okay, what are you going to give me?
What are you getting? I don't even know. It's got blue, so that's good. There you go.
Type 9. The definitive speedboat. It is it is what Rick did very well. Take something that was done previously, entirely redesign it, and yet keep every element of it intact and modernize in a way that the producers want. It is sleek, it is sexy. This shot does not well balance it in a way that it actually is in motion, because the nacelles do go forwarder than you think. The deflector is a bit too small at the front, but whatever. The outside of the cockpit looks a bit too big a window, but the inside is the most beautiful, like 360 feel. That's full function in the inside tunnel. Plus, it has all the rebreathing panel of Voyager throughout, exactly as Rick would do. I love the integrated impulse engines. The warp nacelles are Voyager, but not perfectly Voyager, but very close. I love the way the back feeds in for some reason to be an internal door that's shielded and negative space. Yeah, it's one of my favourite shuttles for generality, and I've never done a shot that doesn't look good with it. So, yeah.
Perfect small shuttlecraft. It's designed to be fast. Looks like it's going to be fast. Not a lot of room inside, but hey, it's just for shuttling people around. Just like the Type 15, the little one from TNG, the little car thing.
It's funny, it's not small, it's just balanced weirdly.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of interior space because of the way it's shaped, though. Like headroom and stuff. So, yeah, this one for me is easily an S tier shuttle.
I think for legacy and design, yeah. And it was the first one, really. We actually got a proper original set built that wasn't just a redress. So it had a real personality. Although they did change it a good amount. When I was looking at text reference, it's like, which version? They did actually a version that was more compressed. And then they added there's several versions of the interior that, as they evolved and had more space. No, I like it. It's a really, really nice classic design.
All right, guys, hit the like button. We have 60 of you here and 41 likes, and make sure you super chat in. This is a community tier list, so we want to hear from you guys. If you want to bump anything you don't agree with, you can.
Yeah,
super chats. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have fun, Stuart.
Oh, this is the ugliest goddamn thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry, Andrew Probert.
And briefly, Stuart, to caveat, there are two of these shuttles on this list. There is the one they made and the one they designed. This is the one they physically made, where the window is not the same and the details are different. So this is what they decided to go with because of practicality. The one that Andrew designed is not this technically, so they are different enough to warrant two. This is the production version. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm sure it's very comfortable inside, lots of room, just like the Enterprise D. Externally, it looks like a dead, bloated animal floating through space. I'm glad we didn't see it very often, and when we did see it was like crashed. So, yeah, there's nothing I like about this. The nacelle is okay. It's the Enterprise D nacelle, so that's fine. It's just I'm sure utilitarian wise it's very good, but aesthetics, it just does not work at all for me, and it just seems bulky and like sluggish. So there you go.
I mean, I've got a slight soft spot for it because it is actually original, as in, you know, it wasn't a Star Trek 5 shuttle they kit bashed. It's actually a proper design, right? So I like it in that metric. There's actually something different, and it definitely feels part of the TNG fleet. It definitely feels part of the Enterprise D. But yes, it's oddly bulky, given how sleek the D is. That said, it's a shuttle. Two shuttle people and things. That is what it's meant to do. Why the hell would you add negative space, right? Like, but certainly I would change a few things on it, and the concept might be different. I deliberately didn't look again for this. I kept it simple. Like the way that the nacelles blend in at the back feels oddly shroomp. It's all together. Like I could see more of a fun integration. I would give this a low C.
I'd give it a D at best.
D at best. Okay, guys, please subject your thoughts on this. We'll give you a minute to decide. But it definitely has more of a runabout feel, which it isn't scaled for runabout, but it kind of has that sort of like minivan feel. Like this, I think, feels far more minivan than the runabout does, personally.
Yes.
Donnie says B. Terrence would have looked at some.
There's more to come. I got a lot more. So C minus, B, D. It does remind, it does look like cars from the 90s, 100%. Or the Astrovan. The Astrovan looks a lot like a lot of TNG shuttles.
Which, in fairness, if you look at the TOS shuttle, it's a giant square. They rounded off in some points and some nacelles. This is very faithfully bulky. Like, this is knowing the assignment. It just doesn't quite translate as well. Oh, I do like the idea of the wraparound window.
Yes.
It's a nice idea, and very Cylon as well, because he also died on Cylon. So
he did.
Yeah, I see that logic there.
This is all over the place. B, C minus, B, D, 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 B.
Come on, guys. One super chat. Put your thoughts forward.
2 fiberglass boats stuck together. Yeah.
You guys have power on this, guys. Put your power forward, etc.
Donnie loves the TNG Type 6, to be honest. Yep. Bottom part and the top part look put together like a box.
It has a certain charm for me. But I think I like the sketch better, because, of course, this is made with limitations in mind.
Oh, yeah.
Although, of course, it's because they did build some level of thing on the set, but this is the CG version, as in this is the digital. This is like what they could achieve. Although I guess they had to have like mounting pins and stuff, so it wasn't quite perfect. But
yeah. Well,
does no one have any opinions, guys? Nobody.
Well, there's a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
But they're all over the place. I guess we'll average it out, because we got a B, D, 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 B. Make it a C.
Yeah, low C
and that's where you wanted it. So
see where it goes later. But do move things as you want.
Okay. Next up.
This is my one then. Okay. NX inspection pod, otherwise known as we have the Phoenix. Let's change that set. I think it's great from the outside, but also, what does it do? What are those pieces? Why has it got them? Is it cool? Yeah. And so concludes my TED talk.
It's ugly. I don't like it. It does what it's supposed to do. It's an inspection pod for flying around the ship and inspecting the exterior of the ship. That's fine. Put an arm or two on it. You could have a Workbee of the era.
Like vaguely did in my film in a Roman War.
Yeah. As a Workbee, I think it's fine. Inspection pod. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. But
and there's a lot of negative space. So I mean, it does worse than thin.
Aesthetically, though, I just can't get behind it.
Well, it looks like what it is, a cockpit.
Yeah, it's not supposed to do anything fancy or be anything special. It does what. See, this is where I have a problem, because I don't want to put it high on the list, but for functionality, it's exactly what it needs to be. So
that definition of the Workbee itself might be a D then.
I like the Workbee though.
That's tricky, isn't it?
It is.
This I like in the sense that I can very much see like having the yoke and just turning and the thing just beautifully circling, and like it feels very elegant because it's such a simple shape, right? Oh, the Millennium Falcon called wants its cockpit back.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'd give it a low C. But I appreciate the quality of the 3D model because they put a lot of work into
Okay.
something that simple.
For its functionality, yes. Aesthetically, I'd put it lower, but
Okay.
I think it does what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all it's supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
So
where are all the engines? Well, it's just RCS thrusters.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't go far. It doesn't do much.
Nope.
It just goes around the ship.
Yep. Meters. It goes meters. Yeah.
All right. What am I giving myself? I don't even know. Ah, Captain's yacht. This is the Cousteau or the Calypso?
One of the two.
I think the Calypso.
I thought Calypso, but
I think the Cousteau is the Enterprise D's. This is awesome. Good auxiliary vessel. I love the fold down nacelles.
Mm-hmm.
Feels very functional. Feels like it could do quite a bit more than just a standard shuttle, even more room. And I love that it attaches to the bottom of the saucer. It's basically a captain's skiff. It's not a yacht like the Enterprise D's, which is more luxurious. This is more militaristic because it's the Enterprise E, and that's great. So, yeah. Again, I like the nacelle design.
Although looking at them, they are just the Type 11 nacelles.
Exactly. Let's get into that point.
Yeah, I never thought until this moment.
Yeah, because it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, it feels very boat-like. Like you could definitely just snap those nacelles off and it'd be a boat, a speedboat. No, a speedboat with like 2 engines in the back. But even those on, they're pontoons. There you go. It's a speedboat. It's too speedboaty almost. So I like it. I like the idea of it. Not the hugest fan of the design. The cells are great, but other than that, it's just kind of all right to me.
So my problem is the overallness of it. I love the back half. I love the engines. I love the bulk at the top. Oh, I don't know. The ramp, cool. The front, to me, is stretched forward with nothing there and like a boat.
Yeah.
Ships aren't boats. So the front third loses me. I don't like it aesthetically. I don't like the fact there's a rim. I don't get it. Right? I don't get it. The back half, I love all the detailing. So it's very much a dichotomy. Looks great in the movie. Looks great in motion. But as an overall package, it doesn't sing to me. I think with very minor tweaks, you could improve that front substantially.
Mm.
But that's just me. Where do you want to put it?
Let me take a look. I kind of want to put it at D, honestly.
Wow, I was going to say a low B. Why for D? It's interesting.
Because of the design aesthetic of it. It's just not functional. Like you actually pointed out a good point. The lack of useful space in the front. You could very easily change that and have it be much more.
Phaser strips, deflectors, many things.
Well, not even just the shape of that front window, so you could actually get people closer to the front and have more internal volume.
Because there's just 4 holes there. I'm not going to give him benefit of doubt saying that's a deflector. It's like, no. And those are 2 small phaser lines. They aren't phaser strips. They're too small. Like they don't have enough of the pop. I will agree with D because I think what we have in C is going to shift.
Oh, I think there's going to be some shifting at the end.
So I will agree
sure.
D because I think things are going to start moving as we go later.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you disagree, let us know.
Yes, by all means, you guys have a important part to play
so much
here.
of it is good, but just a good chunk of it I don't like. It's a weird one. Weird.
It's a weird one. Okay, well, sir.
All right, what are you going to give me, my fine fellow?
I'm going to give you whatever this is.
Okay.
Enjoy. Chaffee.
Chaffee, this is the second Defiant shuttle, because they forgot they had a Defiant shuttle and they had to find a second Defiant shuttle. I don't know. They even lose a miniature because it was sold in auction. First CG one, clearly riffing off the Defiant herself. It is incredibly appropriately nicking the visuals into a very unique shape. I think it is haphazard looking, but also that's kind of the charm of it. It is overly simple front with overly complicated back. Seen once. It's weird. It's very unbalanced. But Doug, who did build this one, put a lot of nice detail in this. It's a shuttle, right? So you've got to shove stuff in. Now, he might have just stolen Greebly's from other things. I mean, look, there's a TMP impulse engine, right? He probably just nicked that from the TMP ship, and he had, details. But that's called being clever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always liked and disliked it at the same time. It's been a very dichotomy ship for me. Thoughts?
I'm the exact same way. Sometimes I absolutely love this design. Other times I look at it and go, wow, that is just... Those engines, that back detailing is just a ripoff of the Defiant scaled down, which we've seen a lot of in a lot of these nacelles, and that's fine. This one looks very quick, very fast, very sleek in motion. And
almost overcharged in that regard. Like, engines are its thing.
But it seems like the Defiant and like the Star Trek V shuttle were just like mashed together. And I both like and dislike that at the same time. I wish we would have seen more of this, honestly. I think seeing it in motion would have helped, appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah, do you think Doug just literally built a Star Trek V shuttle front and stretched it?
I think maybe.
Because that's valid, but that kind of is what it is, isn't it?
I just wish we would have seen more of it. It's an interesting design, but there are times I look at it and go, oh, why? Mm-hmm. And some angles, But then other times it's like, that's really cool. Like, that would have been cool to see more of.
It just makes me sad because the first shuttle is a truly original design. This is a truly kitbash design. They feel so diametrically different. I don't know. And also I think partially the details are scaled wrong to me in my head. That is a ginormous impulse crystal that feels way over the top. Like, there's things that don't equate to that scale. So therefore, all kind of feels out of whack to me. What was your gut reaction? Because I'm so conflicted. Yeah, I'm gonna say C. I think things in B come together better.
Oh yeah, that's what I was just thinking as well as C. So
yeah.
Fair enough. We're running out of C space, but that's okay. All right, next. We're just chugging along here.
Voyager.
Okay, this is... Well, looks like they took the Goddard, or the whatever shuttle class that was, and added some extra front bits on it so that the front isn't quite as smooth or sleek. And obviously changed the nacelles again. This is all right. It's, again, it's a nice advancement on the TNG. But it's basically just the TNG shuttle, the Type 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just with a bit stuck on the front there and the new nacelle. Sure, there's some sleeking going on in the side things, the pods. What?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just kind of all right to me. I prefer the Type 6 from TNG better, personally.
So we built this as a model, and it is 100% original, the 6. But it doesn't look it. Isn't that fascinating? So they actually put in money to build a fully original, updated version, which was not ever going to be built physically. So it has a lot more sleekness, a lot more curves, a lot more balance. The Type 9 did exist, so it was their answer to. And it's weird because they were doing the Type 6s, TNG, this, and the Type 9s all around the same sort of time. They just kept making up their mind. Now, fair, you should have different shuttles, of course. The famous example, because this is almost never used for various reasons, it was only ever a physical miniature, which is why it looks, and this is also a CG model that Eaglemoss did, but it's a very nice miniature because it was one of the last miniatures, so it's a really nice miniature. But, famously, it's in the episode Raven, Seven steals one, and Tuvok goes after them with a different shuttle. But because they swap between miniature and CGI, because some shots needed more elaborate things, this shuttle goes from being a beautiful miniature to a Type 6 in a more elaborate sequence.
Yeah.
And back again.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they're similar, but not. But it's actually entirely original. And noticing all the differences is really fun and was a really good experience. And it just doesn't it. It's a much sexier looking 6. I'm sad we never see it more. Because it's for me, it's kind of almost more balanced than the 9. The 9 is front heavy. This is I love the angles on it. Really nice.
Hmm.
Oh, do you want to read Vaughn's comment?
Varinkana?
All that.
Hello, Trekyards. Your videos are the stuff of Star Trek legends. Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
And here we are live to discuss and talk to.
Wish more people thought so.
And Not Bad Account says, why did Voyager have unused shuttles? Because they're not that hard to build. You got all the schematics. Exactly. They're not that difficult to build. You got spare pieces in the shuttle bay. You build new hulls.
You can replicate new pieces.
Like, if they lost 10 shuttles in 7 years, guess what? You got months to build new shuttles every time. It's really not a problem. And if you said, oh, that's a shuttle, okay, start building a new one. Okay, I've done 3 weeks.
Gives your crew something to do too.
Seriously,
on the
build more torpedoes and more shuttles. That's their side hustle. Like, they're not that busy on Voyager. They explore and also go home at warp. Really not that busy. They've got time to build shuttles. Not a problem.
I was going to say 70 people here, which is awesome. 45 likes. It's also great. We want you guys to contribute to the conversation if you can. Super chat in to bump things if you don't agree, or to end stalemates between Sam and I, because sometimes, like this one, we're not going to agree on for sure. So
I would say a very high A nearing S.
I was going to say A. I wasn't going to put it in S. I thought you were.
Very high A nearing on S.
Okay, I'll put it in A then, because that's what I was thinking.
Because it's a really nice Rick redesign. I really appreciate keeping it faithful, yet everything's new. Yeah, and I wish they used it more, and I'm sad they didn't. Everyone, you could be entirely forgiven to not realize it exists. But it's really nice.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that different. Honestly.
Yeah, it's entirely like one of the few times they built a brand new everything for it, and they never used it.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Learning something new. It's always a good thing.
And even the interior was modified heavily, like properly heavily. We built that as well, and it's really actually way more consoles, way more bulk. It's actually really quite an interesting shuttle. It's so infrequent to see and do anything with, but like it's quite original.
You have a question?
Yes, I released one 3 weeks ago. Stuart's in it. Before that,
kind of.
You were in it. I talked to you. What do you mean? And I did another one in November. Yeah, sort of very. Got other ones in development. Yeah, always new things happening. Ah, yeah. So the concept version, which was obviously done by Eagle Moss, because you can argue which one do you want to do, this or that. Now this one's obviously sleeker, simpler. Window is cooler. I like it better.
I do too. I like everything about this one.
Yeah.
This actually works.
As Andrew designed. Shocker. Like, that's what he designed.
Yep. Oh, it would have been cool to see interior shots too, if there's a bench seat there with like the window behind them.
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
Yeah, this I like. This I absolutely like. So
the only thing
I wish we would have seen it.
Don't like is that in Andrew's one of the earlier versions, the ramps at the front that goes down. Not a big fan of that. Like, you lose it. Weird. But I like, yeah. So do you want to string it up a second where we put the other one? Because this feels like
because
this feels like a very nice continuation from Enterprise D. It's really sleek. I'm happy to give this a gentle B. Even though it's simpler, but it just
100%.
works better as a design, I think. I do want to get one of these built.
I knew this one was coming, and I knew it was going to be higher, just one than the other one. So
especially as the other one, like, it has more greebling, but it feels just like stuck on pieces. There's a lack of flow to it. It's, yeah.
That one is.
So yeah.
That one is not in Skin of Evil Ozzy. It's the other one we looked at. Lou Julius, $5. Sam, has anyone told you that you look nice today? Handsome? Your hair looks good? No? Yeah, I don't think so. Foley, you look great.
Very on brand, Olivia. Very on brand.
Perfect. Welcome, Olivia. All right. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, baby.
One from Endgame.
Yes, the SC4.
It's just a more sleeked out version of the 9. I do like the nacelles, very pointy, very sleek looking, and the Delta's cool. Come on now. Other than that, I mean, there are subtle differences, obviously, in the windows and stuff, but it's basically the same. And I don't know. I think I might prefer the other one actually better. Let me take a look. Yeah, they're I don't know. It's cool. There you go.
Stuart, this one's hot.
Hot.
The benefit of this is that this model looks really good. Like, it's really crisp, isn't it? It's really well textured. It's really well lit. It's crisp. Because the Type 9 was done for Season 3 or the end of 2 for Voyager, and that was the late 90s. This was done for the last episode of Season 7 by Pierre Droulet. It's one of his first model builds. So it is a massively better model with way more geometry, way more crispness, and it feels all of that. I love the addition of the Runabout style engine grills. They're so subtle but fleshed out. The nacelles are probably too sleek, but they fit beautifully well with the design. It looks great in motion. It keeps everything from the 9, but sleeks it in a logical way that kind of... Yeah, I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. In a kind of like the other shuttle, it's a perfect, sleeked up version. I want to give it an S, just like the Type 9, for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right there with you on that one.
And, you know, it's basically the end of Rick Sternbach's lineage of Trek. You know, obviously Enterprise went backwards and Nemesis wasn't involved. So this is his last, like, forward-pushing design, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. A beautifully advanced version of the thing he just did. Exactly it says on the tin. Beautiful.
Glad you're going first this time.
This is the best shuttle in the universe. It has appeared in more episodes and more eras and more generations. It lasts almost 1,000 years of usage, going from pre-discovery to the 31st century, flying around random planetoid. Like
such wasted space in the front with how long and pointy that is. Other than that, the design's not that bad. The nacelles, the way they're integrated, I'm not a huge fan of. The interior is kind of cool. We see the interior a few times. It's kind of nice.
The problem is, of course, is that it looks like a TNG Type 5, but boxier. And none of those things should be able to be applied to TOS. Nothing I said fits. Not a single element I just said fits. And it doesn't fit in any way. I could see this being a kind of odd TNG retro version Type 5. It's like, okay, a bit weird, but okay. Obviously the paint is overcomplicated. What is going on? This is... Nothing here means anything, right? The red stripes, black stripes, nothing here is relevant. It's all just shit on the windscreen of bullshit. I don't like the interior. I don't like the nacelles. If the front was 40% smaller, but if the TNG Type 6'd it, streamlined it to actually have a balanced design and look better. It's just super unbalanced. And having the entire back be a giant... What a waste of everyone's time having a giant airlock. Just have a door. I know there's a door inside the airlock, but it's like, it looks ugly. What do you guys think of a Discovery shuttle?
Are we going to say F it?
Well, it's more of a shuttle than everything in D. But it also can go to warp, which pisses me right off. don't think it deserves an F though. It's not that bad a design.
Well, let's throw it in D then, because then contrast-wise later we might have to bump it.
Because unlike other Discovery stuff, it's not innately a bad design. It's just not where it works, and some small things. It's not actually a bad design. So
it's not error appropriate either. No.
Yeah, but I don't want to be harsh for the sake of harsh. Yeah, I think yeah. It just annoys me.
Okay, next up.
Alright. These were labelled specifically, so you can talk about it while I will find my labelling.
I can't remember specifically what it's from. JJ Verse, I would assume.
Yeah, these are JJ Verse ones.
I like it. It's another Johnny's design.
Yeah, this is the passenger shuttle. But the Enterprise version, this is the newer passenger shuttle. There's a Kelvin one as well. This is the Enterprise version.
Remarkably balanced looking ship. A lot of good visuals for the front. I assume, it's not super oversized. But this is the one
Should you assume that?
This one where McCoy and Kirk are going up to the Enterprise on?
Yes.
Oh, so it is oversized.
For those few moments.
Yep. Okay. So taking all that oversized bullshit out of the equation, I like the design. I really do. It's got a nice look to it. The balance of in the cells being that length. The front is, I think, perfect. The back has some nice detailing. Even where the nacelles are mounted, having like winglets kind of thing for atmospheric flight is a good idea. I think this is a nice shuttle. Sadly. So
it's funny. It is very boxy. But guess what? TOS is boxy.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
Amazing.
Yeah. It does have more of a NASA feel to me. For the windows. Like that, none of those windows feel Star Trek shuttle design to me. They all have a certain, we need to have metal to make them stronger because NASA. And also along the sides are weird. But it's not a bad thing. It's actually TOSian. But that's not... It's a confusing one, right? Yeah, and the nacelles are fine. The wings are fine. Back's fine. It's it's an in contrast shuttle. At the time, we're thinking, okay. But compared to the ones that you didn't hit the mark. This is definitely better than Discovery Shuttle. Just thematically, I suppose. But I don't think it's a nice looking shuttle.
I do. I like it.
I think, honestly, if they curved the sides just at 20%, 15%, a bit more of a TOS vibe. But it's plain, right? It's it's literally just a passenger shuttle. Although with the nacelles, which is odd, I guess it can go to warp. Unless they can't. I don't know. It's mid, right? It's mid to me.
Cosmos is a tad too long, but that's because it's a passenger shuttle. You gotta get more people on.
Yeah, and with a view, right? It's designed to fly around a bit. Yeah. I would say a high C. It's not quite got the same character that it could, but yeah, high C. Far better than the Discovery Shuttle.
I say a B. It fits right in there with the cargo shuttle for me, the long cargo shuttle.
Yeah. Where in B then? High, low, mid?
Oh, low probably.
Okay, I will give you low B. Because I see the logic of the cargo. Yeah.
Next up.
Argo. It's basically a cargo bay with wings and a very large cockpit. If you look at the inside of the model, it's fucking huge.
And cargo room as well.
Yeah.
Not only a cargo bay, but a cargo room.
It's so the plot demanded it. It's unreal. I try explaining this to a caveman. Well, we need a shuttle that could find space to fly a car down, which was just pipes and wheels. Why? I don't know. It's nice, but it's unbalanced to me, and I don't like how the warp nacelles integrate or it annoys me too much.
Also, those winglet things fold up, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And you also got the smaller winglet. Again, it's Johnny's design, incorporating aircraft details. I do kind of like the shape of the front of it. But again, functionality-wise, having no side windows and stuff is a problem for me for a shuttle,
Having
particularly.
2 top micro windows
Yeah,
just feels
it's
entirely style. I just don't see the need for this, except the need to have a bloody car. It just annoys me, and it's hard to light. I've lit it before, and it's a really bullshit one to light. I don't know.
Well,
See, my guts is high D, 'cause it just annoys me. Aesthetically, yeah, it just annoys me a bit.
I'm fine with a high D.
Because I so much prefer the one in A. It's so similar, I just think far superior. Oof. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next up. Defiant Shuttle.
Number 1, only seen in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
The one they escaped the Defiant on as it was getting blasted by the Jem'Hadar. And the inside is a redress of the shuttle pod.
Yeah. Interesting, unique design. And I neither hate it nor love it. It's just, it does what it does. So, again, you got the details of the RCS thrusters and stuff, which is awesome. And, yeah, it's not much to really chat about. It's a unique one. And that's nice. I like that it's unique.
The thing is, it's exactly what it says. It's a Defiant small shuttlecraft. It's entirely in keeping, will be entirely new, will be entirely original, will entirely see what it is. And yes, the miniature's gorgeous. Like, the amount of detail they put on is really lovely. So it really looks good in the press pictures. Not the show, because you can't tell, but the press pictures. Has a giant cannon at the top. So it's been pretty cool. Ton of groovies at the back. And yeah, we had this built. We hit with Trek short. It's very hard to light because there's one curve to it. So it's terrible to light, but it looks great in motion. It really sweeps well. I really like it. It's actually like a truly original design. I don't know who designed it. I assume Jim Martin. I would assume. I just think it is properly out of this list. It's a wholesome togetherness of a piece. I kind of want to go a low A, or even mid A, but in the A.
I kind of want to give it a B. Guys, either a super chat can break this, or you guys can just vote in the regular chat. But a super chat would be awesome. What do you think? I think a B.
It's just so damn cohesive.
It also lacks the side windows that we've talked about a few times before, which it would be easy to put one in.
It's really small though, and in fairness,
it is.
And in fairness, so we built one. So and it's such a big front window. Like it's when you build it, it's bigger than you think it is. It takes up a lot of the space. But either side of the pilot, there's a giant LCARS, like a giant display. So rather than a window, it's a big ass touch display. So that's what they have instead, and that's what lights them. Although it's funny, the back door which you see in the episode, there's not enough space between the door and the back of the shuttle. But it was fun to build. And to, like, because there's like no shots of it, and it's such a small thing, they like shot up close. So I had to like take what we had for the shuttle pod, because they used that, and then like reverse engineer what isn't there, what is there, and then they added new beams, and it's a very interesting decoupling. I mean, we ended up having one behind the scenes shot from a magazine that was like crappy resolution, but it was super wide. So like, oh, that's why they did that. And they cut some stuff, and there's like a ceiling piece that they just skipped. That's just there from the Type. The shuttle pod's like there. It's kind of fun to redesign.
It's an odd one because when you first look at it, you think, what the hell? And then the more you look at it, the more you like it.
It flows. It's logical.
Yeah.
Could do with some phaser strips. But it really does feel just like a shuttle from orbit to planet. Like it actually is a shuttle pod, right? That's its definitional state. It's a very small ship. Yeah, I like it. It just works for what it is. It's cohesive.
What did you say again?
Low A. I think it absolutely fits into that level, just cohesive.
No, I still think it's a B.
Guys, vote now. Well, Mickey says minus F, so if that counts.
Got a C, and a minus F.
Well, the weathering is where I'll give you that. But this is a shot of a miniature that's been dusted and stuff for like 25 years, so fair enough. Oh, the Shuttle's in flying school. Yeah. What do you guys think? And I'm going to end the poll, I think, at 94 votes. Is the Runabout a shuttle? Like, really? Is it, though? A shuttle versus an auxiliary craft? 59%, yeah, it's really a shuttle. And 41% say, nope, auxiliary craft as the canon determines. Interesting.
The thing that answers that question is they each have their own individual registries, so... But hey, that's all right. So we got a B, 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 C, and an A. So B seems to be winning so far. Once your poll is done, that'll be the time, and we'll decide where it's going. Got another B from Admiral Cupcake. It's a great name. Okay, what do you like better, the Delta Flyer or the Runabout? There's only one N in Runabout, by the way. It's twice you spelled it with two N's.
The English spelling. Yeah. I mean, you know, give it a B. That's okay. I just think it's far more creative than a lot of stuff you have in B. Yeah. Yeah, looking is, yeah, definitely more than B's. But hey, we'll get there. So this one is, I believe, the Kelvin passenger shuttle. So it's the earlier version. Yes, the Kelvin.
Again, it's another John Hughes design. They look all exactly alike. This one has blast shutters, I guess, over the windows. Or it's just not a painted detail. I don't know. It's fine.
It's TOS shuttle. Just more angular, more platey.
I just wish the nacelles extended further forward, maybe. The nacelles on this one, unlike the other one, feel a little out of proportion.
It looks faster, though. It looks zippier. This one at Type 9. I mean, it's a simple box that's angled, right? I'll give it a strong C. It's fine. You know? It's dull. Let's see. Dull, but fine.
Yeah, I'd put it under the other one. So, yeah, C. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 left.
Oh, so I'll throw in some scripts, guys. What you think and how to move things? We set right on them.
Type 15.
Shuttle pod.
It's literally a pod that fits 2 people. There's not a lot of room. There's some storage in the back. It looks like car seats inside. It looks like a small little golf cart, essentially. And it's kind of ugly. And I hate that they added that bottom part so that it could sit on the ground better. I wish that was not there. It was just like resting on the nacelles.
In the miniature it doesn't. So my CG version hasn't got it, and it's not nicer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's simple. Does what it says. There you go.
See,
again, no side windows, but it's small. So.
No, it does.
Oh, on the door, yeah.
Which are where the seats are, so you can just turn.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point, yeah.
It's that small, Stuart. See, I think this has a lot of charm. It was a physical 360 prop. That's kind of special. The first one that fit, it was real size, it was real scale. It had a lot of new flair. It actually looks really kind of good in motion as a CG asset. Kind of the way it zips. I actually really quite like it. It feels kind of like the way the beak is. It slices through the air. It's actually really a good ship to fly in CG. Obviously in the show all it was this, but it looks really kind of good in motion.
Before you rank it though, Sean O'Sullivan, €2, no Calypso, Cousteau Aeroshuttle. We've done 2 of those already, and 1 is still to come. And Foley loves sand. Yes, it's not coarse, it's not rough, it's not irritating, and it doesn't get everywhere.
I think for pure legacy and charm, I want to give it a B. It's a real thing. The only real thing until the Type 6. It's got a charm, and I like flying it in my films. It's got a charm to it.
Happy to give it a B.
And yeah, when you cut out the brick at the bottom, it really makes a difference.
Oh my goodness. All right, what's next? Wow, the classic.
TOS remastered. Slight disclaimer there. With 2 shutters down, but you know what it is. What do you think, Stuart? And now in contrast, of course.
Classic. And it's not just the box. There are some interesting shapes there. That curved part at the top, the way it kind of slants. I don't know if it slants down necessarily with the roof. But, or those things at this, regardless. I like it. I like the way the door opens. Again, it's got the winglets, which has kind of been an ongoing theme here. And I like the proportions as well, the length of the nacelles compared to the actual ship itself. Interior, I wish would be more modernized, and that's what I think that Strange New Worlds did very well. So, other than that, I think it's an interesting little ship. No rear loading ramp on this one, unlike a lot of other shuttles. That's where the engines and the back room is, and yeah, I think it's a classic. It's a classic.
Yeah, it's the most famous box with everything it can do to look like a box. By having that little rim expressing detail in the middle, which is very much of the communicator as well, that gives it a more of a flow. The curves at the front, the zero reason at all, these at the top. They do nothing except to hide the box shape, right? And that's great. It does its job. I love how the wings integrate. I love the fact it's got a third giant pneumatic landing leg at the back. I love that.
You know why that is? Because the guy who was designing it, he found one at an airplane company and thought it looked really cool, so he wanted to include it somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. And I kind of like the interior. It's simple as all hell, but I like the arrangement. We have built one, but never textured it, and we even built the back room, which is kind of fun to kind of. We cheated. It doesn't. I mean, obviously it never fits. Like none of the versions of it fit in any way. It can't fit. So we just did our own tweaked version. Love the door, how the door opens. But it certainly is a not incredible design because it's limited. But also it's kind of cool. I certainly wouldn't go S for it because compared to the S things, it's missing so many cool things. But I'm happy to give it a medium A.
A is exactly what I was thinking.
I think it has so many lovely little details. You know, I love Galileo 7 with the things all the floor panels and the back bit and just the things they add to it to make it feel like a real space. It's great. Yeah.
All right, next up, we just came off that poll, so we'll talk about the Runabout. Utilitarian auxiliary craft, multiple modules for the middle if it was ever shown, which it never was. We know it can have bunks, it's got the washroom, it's got a nice rear area that you see in TNG, but not the S9 ever. It's a functional little auxiliary ship, and they each have their own registry numbers, so they are in fact an auxiliary ship, not a shuttle per se. But I think they do kind of fall into the purview of shuttles when you're talking about shuttles because of their size, but the squared off nacelles always kind of bothered me. Just it's something about it could feel more organic a little bit. But other than that, I think the design's really, really stellar, and I love the Yellowstones that have the extra pod on top, weapons pod. I think is a nice touch. So yeah, fantastic. Got a transporter. It's got everything you need. It's got 4 stations up front. It's a nice ship. So.
Yeah, it's cheating in the sense it's actually a hero design by Rick, and it feels incredibly well thought out. All the Greeblies have a certain flair to them. It's not too busy, but it's busy. It's super original, yet super faithful. It's extremely well thought out. That's what Rick does. They should hire him more. Yeah, and even something as simple as that top detail, which is reminiscent of the Type 11, it's just part of the engine unit. Like, it's just a cool detail that kind of like just works, and the piping down to the nacelles. I like nacelles personally. I think they work well, oddly, with it. I love the back window. Obviously in one of my films we can see through it. In more films we do a whole thing where you're standing at the window looking out. It's great. Love the cockpit. It's really, really good cockpit design. Really good. Just the entire front bit. The early version or with a secondary thing, have the transport in the middle is a great piece. Yeah, I think this is absolutely an S tier because it has all of the love that a hero ship needs in basically a shuttle package. It's great. It's a really good design.
Yeah, 100%.
And if it had been designed 5 years later it wouldn't have been quite as boxy, because that's what the miniatures need to be. But it's that beautiful combination of sleek, boxy. How far could we push it while still being, right there?
Yeah. All right. Next up is
Bye, Cupcake.
the Calypso, the Enterprise D's Captain Shot.
A lot of transporter emitters, my goodness.
And it's just a UFO shape, and that's fine. I mean, in one of the, there's is it in the technical manual? It shows like it's 2 levels as well. It's got a little bit of space in it, but it's more luxurious. It's not really designed for much. It doesn't have warp. It has a warp sustainer, but
Yes, so you meant to drop off Picard and land and hang out.
yeah,
It's actually a
very
yacht.
simple. It's very simple.
And I appreciate Eagle must have made one. This is what their model looked like. It's cool. It's fun to see it be really done. I don't know why it needs 4 transporter emitters, but sure. I mean, I'm going to give it a D just on principle.
Yeah. I think this might actually qualify as an F, honestly, but I would have liked to have seen it used once.
Yeah. And it's one of those few things I'm not even tempted to do as a fan film. It's like, nah, it's okay.
All right. Next up.
This one is considered a JJ transport shuttle.
I hate the nacelles on this thing. Oh, you're going to put that to the back? Okay, thanks.
I get the logic behind this, but it's so boxy. It's very, very Delta Flyer-y. Like, I see John's pulling from other things. I mean, it really is an Argo. Just boxy.
Yeah,
actually.
it is. With those little nacelles.
That's all
top.
it is, yeah.
It's not a
It's not Star Trek, really, at all. It's any other sci-fi that's near future. Any.
Yeah.
Straight to D, in my opinion.
Yep. Easily.
But I could be convinced to go F if you want to go F. Because it's super generic as well. There we go.
We don't have an F yet.
And not because it's JJ, but... Okay, medical shuttle, which is almost identical to the other shuttle.
But this has a lot of... Well, no. I was going to say it has a lot of TOS-isms with the doors, the way they're kind of shaped.
Yeah.
And the longer nacelle makes it a little bit better. I don't mind this one so much. It's definitely not an F tier, but
it's misbalanced,
also not super high.
But it had to be to balance out the design.
Yeah.
Where do we put the other one that's almost identical?
I think we put it in C.
Because it is different. It is sleeker than nacelles. Do you want to swap this and that then? Because I think the nacelles are better. I think the other...
No. The other one's in C with the shorter nacelles.
Yeah. Do you not think the one looks better?
Yeah, a little. We could put the other one in D.
I would swap those two, because this I prefer. Not by a lot, but I think it balances slightly better.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll put that one in C, because yeah, you're right. The nacelles make it look a little bit better.
Not a lot, but some. Yeah, guys,
Classic...
subject your thoughts and comments. We're nearing the end. Putting your 2 cents in things around. Workbee.
80 people here. Hit the like button. We only have 52 likes. I want to get this up to 80.
Yeah.
Classic Workbee. Now, without attachments, obviously. There's a sled thing that goes on the back. There's arms that go on the front. It's a very utilitarian vehicle. Classic construction colors with the yellow, just like the Sphinx was. And it's meant to be seen. One person, very small design, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It weaves in and out of space stocks and, and does the things.
All the things, Joe. All of them.
I like this design though, and it's carried over. And there's a different version of it in Nemesis. It's white, silver, but yeah. Same shape. A little bit refinement of some shapes and stuff, slightly, but if I recall correctly. Yeah, and good visibility for which these things would need. So the cat of Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, it's super iconic. And super what it says on the tin. But is it a shuttle?
No. But neither was the Sphinx.
Oh God, I don't know. I feel like okay. You can't put it as an S because it's not a shuttle. But you probably justify as an A because it's too damn iconic.
Yep. And very functional.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
This is stupid. But that's all good.
The Delta Flyer.
S.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, there can be no debate on something that good. I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, it is gorgeous in every possible way. It is balanced.
Even the Art Deco design of the window, man, that's just awesome.
Yeah, it's balanced. It's dynamic. It's fast. It's sleek. It's engaging. It's roomy. It's pew pew. It's the cockpit's a brilliant design. It is a really good piece of coolness.
It's a very good S tier.
And you know, obviously Shuttle, it's kind of pushing into the, you know, auxiliary craft fanciness thing.
Mm.
And it's also cheating. It's a Borg tech. It's got high warp. It's got Borg shields. It's got Vega transporters. Like it's an OP shuttle. But also you buy it because it's been crafted with the most modern stuff that Voyager has. I'm sure they'll be looking at like cutting edge stuff, like prototype stuff in the database. Like, oh, I haven't quite fixed the minutia, but we could try this. And then someone's like, oh yeah, Borg know how to fix that. Click, click. Wow, impulse is up by 40%. Shit. Like that sort of thing, right? Yeah, I mean, it's the most S on that list for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Travel pod.
Love it.
It's
So
A.
simple. Yeah, it's an A. It's such a clean, nice design. It's over detailed, but it kind of works. Love the window. Love it. But I mean, you can't take away from how good the scene is with it. It's always going to have that literally window into the heart of those episodes. Yeah, it's an A for legacy.
Mm-hmm. Right there with the Workbee.
Right there will it be.
Speaking of Workbees, Discovery Workbee. Feels like it's from a different franchise. Or a submarine. So it does what it's supposed to do for sure, but it just doesn't feel Star Trek or connected to the classic Workbee shape.
I mean, but you know it's a Workbee though.
How is a bubble the same shape as a triangle?
No. Well, no, but I mean, like, you know, well, I mean, Sphinx, first of all, right? Like, you know exactly
Sure,
what
a
it
Sphinx.
is. Like, it's exactly what... It's got the arms, it's got the king,
But
it's exactly what...
I guarantee you...
Just NASA.
I guarantee you, if you showed this to anybody on the street, that's a small one-man sub.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say it's a spaceship or any kind of...
Or a Lost in Space repair pod.
Yeah, but it looks like a submarine. Like, the claws are they're literally the same as what you get on subs.
They are. They're
Scrap
too
things.
mechanical. They're not cool enough. So I think design-wise, this is a B. For pure design, I think it's a really good design. But that's not what I'm ranking in here. Well, let's
I
see.
would put it
Let's see.
as a C.
Yeah, because I like it better than the inspection pod. Yeah, I mean, C is fair, and we'll readjust because contrast is now.
We only got one left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's very 2001. Oh, ending on the
It's an
classic.
S. For me, it's an S. I love the typesets.
It's classic, and it's really nice to move in CG. The way the light hits it is great. It's tremendously bulky, and that's its charm. You know, because it is, right? But it's a nice bulk. I love the interior. The fact they've got carpeted ceilings.
Yeah.
Literally. And isn't that damn door iconic? We'll always remember Scotty walking in and off, and just like that vibe of just yeah. It's great.
And I love the shape of the nacelles as well. They feel very, very sturdy and stocky, and a good thing to land on.
It's a sleek bulk.
Yeah.
You know, balanced. Yeah, it's a cool. Yeah, I think. Yeah, icon wise, we'll give it an S. You know, it's possibly a little too bulky, but that is its charm. So, I've seen so many goddamn episodes with it in so many damn shows. Gorgonzola, Nick's ship isn't there because it's not Starfleet. It's also not a shuttle. I mean, neither some of these, but it's not Starfleet and not shuttle, so it's a bit too far. All these are clearly Starfleet themed.
We'll have like other ships like Alice and smaller ships like that in another tier list.
Yes. Okay, so this is our current list. We encourage you to support the channel by super chatting some movings. This is what we came up with. If you think we're all entirely right, hey, there you go. But we'd love to get at least another 3 or 4 moves or super chats as we're starting to roll down. We've hit the 2-hour mark. We'll give you the last 5 minutes to swap things around as you want, make a final fan listing, and then we'll do some swaps. So I think certainly some swaps will be needed, as now we have contrast.
Yeah.
Nice. Very busy board.
I thought we were going to run out of room in some of the tiers,
Yeah,
but we didn't.
So with that, to move a bit of...
Why are you moving them so close together?
You know, give us some space.
Let me do it. I was moving them.
Oh.
I want to do it. You do everything else.
Ha! Trekyardians, a Foley 3 nacelle shuttle?
Yeah, he built one. It's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's not getting added to the list, though.
Okay. I guess I did technically design a shuttle for Pursuit of a Dream / my thing, but it's a Insurrection Pod meets Type 11, kind of a whatever. Yeah, I Aqua Shuttle.
Yeah, we could pull in the animated stuff, but
Let's face it, the only reason DS9 is an S is because of the DS9 Association. Nope. Just a great design.
which one are they talking about?
Runabout.
No, it's just it's one I would if I was Scotty, I would have preferred they gave me a runabout to the Type 6 to go running around the galaxy doing whatever.
And Jamie, it's Type 9 is what's that's Type 6 is Voyager as TNG. Type 7 is Voyager Sleek. Type 9 is that's the legacy of the naming structure. That's what it's called. Well, I would love to have seen again, hire Rick, have him design the Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, like design everything in between. That'd be so fun to see. Like, what would the how do you fill in the gaps and iterate on the legacy? So yeah, you guys, final little bit to change some things around. Let us know.
Benjamin Stone. Oh, sorry. Classic for real throws in $2. Hooray! Another live, and I'm in time to see the end.
Hooray!
Benjamin Stone, £5. Your pick of another 3 to go down to F class. It's a bit empty. That's not how that works.
But we can move Calypso down. Or the you know what I mean. TNG yacht.
It's Calypso. It's Calypso.
Okay, cool. Because I think that's fair. And yes, Dan, the Nova also had it's called the Wave Rider, but we never saw a design for it. We just saw the bottom. They never did test it or anything. Yes.
The Wave Rider, I probably would have put it an A.
I don't know what the top looks like, right?
Fleet Pod, $2. Have no fear, Fleet Pod's finally here.
Wow.
Thanks, Fleet Pod. Let's see how mad he gets at this listing.
The vengeance will come. And it's A-OK.
All right, I'm just taking a look here. I think I would probably move myself. I would move 1 down at least. I'd move 1 from a C to a D. Can you tell me which one?
No, because I'm looking something up.
I was looking up the Wave Rider.
I'm not.
It's like how the Delta Flyer canonized. Yes, Star Trek ships can go underwater just fine too. Well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they?
Hmm.
If they can survive space, they can survive underwater.
Yeah.
Gorgonzola, I've never been so okay with your tier list ever. That's awesome. Yeah, there was no complaints on this one, really. Nobody's really shuffling stuff, so.
Yeah.
Trent Bennett, what's the far left in A? That is Matt Jeffrey's original concept for the shuttle design for TOS. Mark Lawrence, $5. Did we miss the long-range shuttle from TMP and then pops up again in lower decks? Oh, that's not a... Oh.
Civilian carrier.
It's a warp sled.
Yeah. With
Really
with a box on top. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I feel like it should have been on the list, but that's okay. Not the sled part, but the top part. Anyway, I'm just showing this up for Trent. That's what it looks like. That is the Matt Jeffrey's original design for the TOS shuttle, which was too expensive to make in the time they had. So.
Well, I'm sure they nixed it or vetoed it very early. It's like that's not a good shout. It's too difficult.
How would you rank the Phase 2 concept? Oh, that's a fucking F.
Phase 2 concept shuttle?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh, no.
That's an F. 100%.
No.
Fleet Paw throws in $5. I think the only thing I would move would be the Disco Shuttle Picard Taxi to F, just because it's so ugly and it popped up everywhere.
Yeah, but it's not that ugly, though. It's not that ugly. It's quite ugly. But can't just hate for hating. But yes, if no one is interested in changing, that makes our job easier, but less fun in a sense. Okay, changes.
One I wanted to move. Yeah, it's in C. I'll move to D. What do you think? Knowing me.
Oh, inspection pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this contrast, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I feel like if we're being consistent, we should move the X-33 down to F.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't work in this giant concept.
Yep.
I think I would also probably throw the Sphinx down to a D. It's too...
Yeah. It's too out of the box.
And so I could probably also move the Discovery Workbee by the same logic down. It's like, even though it's kind of cool in this giant context, like, no, it doesn't.
Should be an F in my opinion, but hey. What are we going to do?
Yeah. I think the Picard shuttle should be up to a B. I think it stands out compared to the stuff in C. It's just better design.
Yes, but then I would also argue that the Chaffee should be moved up.
If we can move the JJB down, because that looks ugly in comparison to the other stuff there.
Kind of like that one though.
That's the trade. Chaffee for a JJ.
Well, then I'm fine to leave it.
Okay.
Because Chaffee, like I said, sometimes I look.
Yeah,
at
well,
it
exactly.
What the fuck are we thinking?
Well, I mean, we can't move anything else to B because it's literally...
Well, I could shuffle some things and make something maybe fit.
See, I wouldn't have said the Jeffrey's design was an A. Because it's just also super not canon. But, it'll, you know. But that would just be... But you love TOS stuff, so I don't think you want to move that. I think compared to everything else in A, it's a pretty far cry from A. But I'm not going to fight on it. But I said I wouldn't say it was an A. I just don't know if I love having the two lower decks in B. I don't know if there's one that's slightly worse we can jump down to a C.
Mm, no, I think they're good where they are. I feel tempted to move the shuttle pod from Enterprise down to a D, but
Okay.
for the era, it's appropriate where it is, especially compared to like the thing beside it in C. So it's just a personal taste thing.
Classic Frio wants us to justify why the X-33 is an F.
Because it's a good continuation from the shuttle program, the space shuttle. It's beautiful. It would be higher on the list if it was NASA related, but this is all Star Trek shuttles. So
It was there as a kindness, not a it's going to win.
Exactly.
It's like the inspection pod. It's like it really shouldn't be part of this list, but it's even though it literally is a shuttle. But I'm tempted to say if I can convince you to move both the Workbee and the pod down to a C, just because they're not shuttly enough.
And no, hold on, just 1 second. Cosmo sent me something. We did not forget that one. It's on the list. It's an A. It's an A tier. It's the Johnny's one. This one.
Yeah.
He was asking if we forgot it.
Just a better picture. Because you can't judge it from the back.
So what did you want to move down? Sorry.
Just I think if you're doing a shuttle list, to be fair, the Workbee, TMP, and the inspection pod down to C. Not because I don't love them, because they're just not as good design shuttles in A. A just feels now very generous. We still love them, just it's a shuttle ranking. Sort of help balance out a little more the good being good, etc. It's a very big list.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I'm actually very happy with this list.
I think I'm about there as well, yeah. It's really broad. It's really, really broad. Because it's not even that, like, I was going to say S is the sleekest, but it really isn't. Runabout, Sergeant 5 and TNG are not sleek. And then look at A. The first three are very sleek, and Voyager Shuttle's very sleek. But, you know? Like, I would still say Voyager Shuttle is A+, but not as definitive, obviously, as TNG. And probably TOS is A+ as well, the amount of little things it has. Just not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh. Oh. Huh.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the list.
Least controversial one ever. Jesus.
Yeah.
Shocking. We like controversy. Well, there you go. I thought it'd be more. I thought you guys would be more. No, move it all across the world. So yeah, okay, well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good. There's nothing else to do there.
Yeah, there we go. I guess that works.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another tier list. We appreciate you guys. We will be back next week with 2 tier lists, actually, but 1 subject. Bridges. We're going to do eras, like, so the TOS to TMP era is part 1. That'll probably be on Tuesday. I think Wednesday we'll do a Trek Versus, and then Thursday we'll finish out with the part 2 of the Bridges. Or was that supposed to be the week after? It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Which is funny, of course, because the even though we'll go until TMP, obviously once you get into the stuff like the Excelsior kit bashes, they're all kit bashing the TMP-esque bridge. So even though we'll end that era, the set will still be around our second rankings.
Yeah. And classic for real, $5. Can't think of how to change the list, so here's 5 US ducats to say it's a great list. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, amazing. Wow. I learned something. And of course, this weekend I'm at a convention, which includes tomorrow because I have to get there too. Stargating. Do you have any fun plans this weekend, Stuart Opal?
Heading out to my dad's to meet up with my brothers and my dad on Saturday, but that's about it.
That's pretty good then.
Yeah.
I like it. And everyone look forward to another Star Trek Online themed episode this weekend on a Intrepid-esque, but not. But yes, design.
The emissary class.
Mm-hmm. Does not really equate to a naming worth of Voyager, but it's kind of vibing. It's just, kind of, yeah.
So until we see you next time, or you see us, he's Commander Cockings.
He is Captain Foley.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.